Close your eyes for a second and think about this truth. The life you are living right now is a reflection of who you are, not what you wish for. That idea alone destroys most of what modern manifestation teaches. Everywhere you look, people are talking about vision boards, positive affirmations, and just believing hard enough. They say if you think about money, it will come. If you repeat success, you will become successful. If you feel it deeply, the universe will respond. But history tells a very different story. The greatest minds of ancient Rome did not sit around visualizing luxury. They trained their character. They trained their discipline. They trained their reactions. And as a result, they built power that lasted for centuries. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius wrote about controlling the mind in the middle of war. Epictetus was born a slave, yet he became one of the most influential teachers of mental strength. Seneca advised emperors while practicing emotional control in a corrupt political system. None of them talked about attracting what they wanted. They talked about becoming someone strong enough to earn it. And that is where most people get it wrong. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. If you are undisciplined, you manifest chaos. If you are insecure, you manifest rejection. If you are reactive, you manifest conflict. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes results. Results shape reality. That chain is not mystical, it is practical. Modern psychology confirms what Stoics practiced 2,000 years ago. Your habits create your self-image. Your self-image controls your decisions. Your decisions create your future. So the real secret is not desire. Desire is cheap. Everyone desires more money. Everyone desires respect. Everyone desires freedom. Few people desire the daily discipline required to build those things. What if the real reason manifestation fails is because people are trying to attract outcomes without upgrading their identity? What if the missing piece is not belief, but structure, not hope, but control? In this video, you will learn 10 Stoic rules that silently shape reality. These are not motivational tricks. These are principles tested in war, politics, betrayal, loss, and extreme pressure. You will understand why emotional control gives you more power than positive thinking. You will see why detachment from outcomes increases performance. You will learn why focusing only on what you control multiplies your results. You will discover how negative visualization removes fear and unlocks bold action. And you will see how discipline practiced daily builds an identity that attracts opportunities naturally. By the end of this video, manifestation will no longer feel like magic. It will feel like responsibility. You will stop asking, "Why is this not happening for me?" and start asking, "Who must I become for this to happen through me?" That shift changes everything. Stay until the end, because the final rule ties all the others together, and without it, none of them work. It is the rule that separates people who talk about change from people who live it. This is not about fantasy. This is not about pretending the universe owes you something. This is about understanding that reality responds to character. Calm people make better decisions. Disciplined people take consistent action. Detached people think clearly under pressure. And clear action repeated over time looks like manifestation to those who do not see the process behind it. There is a quiet power in Stoicism that most people overlook because it is not loud. It does not promise overnight success. It promises inner control, and inner control is the foundation of outer results. If you are tired of chasing outcomes and ready to build the kind of identity that cannot be ignored, then this video is for you. By the time we finish, you will not only understand these 10 Stoic rules, you will feel the difference between wishing for a better life and constructing one step by step. Welcome to our channel, where we do not teach empty motivation. We teach strength. We teach discipline. We teach control. If you are ready to upgrade who you are and not just what you want, subscribe now and stay with us. The transformation starts here. Stoicism is often misunderstood as passive, cold, or detached from ambition, but that is a shallow reading of a deep system. In truth, Stoicism is one of the most practical frameworks ever created for turning intention into reality. It is not about sitting still and accepting life blindly. It is about mastering the only territory that truly belongs to you, your mind, your reactions, and your effort. That is why it works. While most manifestation teachings focus on external outcomes, Stoicism focuses on internal structure, and structure determines results. The Stoics like Epictetus taught a simple but powerful principle: some things are within your control and some are not. Your thoughts are within your control. Your responses are within your control. Your effort is within your control. Outcomes are not. Other people's opinions are not. Timing is not. Luck is not. When you fully understand this, your energy stops leaking into frustration and starts concentrating into action. You stop trying to bend reality with hope, and you start shaping it with behavior. That shift alone separates fantasy from discipline. You do not control outcomes. You control actions. Actions repeated daily create outcomes. This is not philosophy in theory. It is cause and effect in motion. When your identity and your behavior align, manifestation stops being mystical. It becomes predictable. Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Results shape your life. If you change identity, you change behavior. If you change behavior, you change outcomes. That is the real system. The first rule is simple. Control what you can. Psychologically, this reduces anxiety. Anxiety grows when the mind focuses on uncertainty. When you narrow your attention to what is within reach, your brain shifts from worry mode to execution mode. You stop replaying situations you cannot change. You stop arguing with reality. You focus on preparation, skill, and effort. This increases competence. Competence increases confidence. Confidence improves performance. When performance improves, outcomes shift naturally. Energy stops leaking into emotional noise. Power increases because it is concentrated. When you stop fighting the uncontrollable, you become unstoppable. The second rule is to detach from the outcome. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. Desperation clouds judgment. When you need something too badly, your decisions become emotional instead of strategic. The Stoics practiced acting fully while expecting nothing. They prepared intensely, but they understood that the final result was not theirs to command. Psychologically, detachment lowers pressure. Lower pressure improves clarity. Clear minds choose better actions. Better actions increase probability of success. Calm people perform better because they are not fighting fear at the same time. When you release the outcome, you free your focus, and focus is power. The third rule is emotional stability. Emotional chaos destroys manifestation because unstable emotions create unstable decisions. One day motivated, one day discouraged, one day confident, one day insecure. That inconsistency breaks momentum. Stoics trained themselves to respond rather than react. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself about staying steady in the face of insult and crisis. Emotional neutrality does not mean numbness. It means balance. A stable mind sees options clearly. Clear options lead to rational decisions. Rational decisions produce consistent results. Stability builds trust in yourself. When you trust your own reactions, you move faster and hesitate less. The fourth rule is negative visualization. This practice sounds strange at first. You imagine losing what you value. You imagine failure. You imagine setbacks. Why would that help? Because fear thrives in the unknown. When you mentally rehearse loss, the shock disappears. The mind adapts. The worst case becomes familiar. Familiarity reduces panic. Reduced panic increases courage. Courage leads to action. Fearless people act faster because they are not paralyzed by what might go wrong. When fear shrinks, execution improves. And execution shapes reality. The fifth rule is daily discipline. Manifestation without discipline is just desire. Small repeated actions build identity. When you wake up early consistently, you become someone who keeps promises. When you train your body consistently, you become someone who endures discomfort. Identity forms through repetition. Identity creates destiny because identity guides choices. Choices repeated become habits. Habits shape your future. Discipline looks boring from the outside, but it is powerful underneath. Consistent action compounds. Over months and years, that compounding becomes transformation. The sixth rule is removing ego. Ego seeks praise. Ego avoids criticism. Ego protects comfort. Stoicism seeks growth. Growth requires feedback. When ego dominates, you defend mistakes instead of correcting them. When ego softens, learning begins. Learning accelerates progress. Progress attracts opportunity. Opportunity expands results. Ego blocks improvement because it fears looking weak, but real strength grows through correction. When ego dies, growth multiplies. The seventh rule is accepting hardship. Pain is training. Resistance builds strength. Muscles grow under tension. Character grows under pressure. When you resist hardship, you waste energy complaining. When you accept hardship, you convert difficulty into development. Psychologically, acceptance reduces suffering because suffering often comes from resisting what already exists. When you see obstacles as training, motivation shifts. You stop asking why this is happening to you and start asking how this can build you. Strength creates leverage. Leverage increases influence. Influence shapes outcomes. The eighth rule is speak less and act more. Talking creates the illusion of progress. You feel productive because you described your plans, but nothing changed. Action creates real progress. Results respond to effort, not announcements. Silence builds power because it protects focus. When you talk less, you conserve energy. That energy goes into execution. Execution produces evidence. Evidence builds credibility. Quiet action compounds into visible results. The ninth rule is indifference to opinions. Validation is addictive. When you depend on approval, your focus splits. Part of you works toward the goal. Part of you works toward applause. That division weakens performance. Independence strengthens vision because you operate from internal standards. Internal standards are stable. External opinions shift constantly. Focused people win because they move in one direction without being pulled sideways by criticism or praise. The 10th rule is become the person first. Most people chase goals directly. They want wealth, respect, influence, but chasing outcomes without upgrading character creates fragility. Instead of asking how to get wealth, ask how to become disciplined. Instead of asking how to get respect, ask how to become respectable. Identity precedes outcome. When identity aligns with the desired result, behavior follows naturally. When behavior aligns consistently, reality shifts. Reality follows identity, whether you notice it or not. Everything changes the moment you shift from chasing outcomes to building character. You move from emotional reactions to calm responses, from reacting blindly to thinking strategically, from needing approval to standing independent, from constant distraction to sharp discipline. That transformation is quiet, but it is powerful. It does not look dramatic at first, but over time it separates you from the crowd. Emotional people wait for motivation. Calm people act with clarity. Reactive people blame circumstances. Strategic people adjust and move forward. Needy people seek validation. Detached people focus on growth. Distracted people start and stop. Disciplined people finish, and the world responds differently to each type of person. This is the real shift. Not from broke to rich overnight. Not from unknown to famous instantly, but from unstable to unshakable. From scattered to focused. From hoping to executing. Stoicism is not about attracting what you want. It is about becoming someone who cannot miss. When your thoughts are controlled, your reactions steady, and your effort consistent, results stop feeling random. They start feeling earned, and earned success lasts. If this shifted your mindset even slightly, then you are already thinking differently. Subscribe to the channel, and stay on this path with us. We do not teach fantasy here. We teach control. We do not sell shortcuts. We build strength. Like the video if it gave you clarity. Share it with someone who is ready to level up and commit to becoming the kind of person who does not wait for life to change, but changes themselves first.